Hello, Virgo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of December 14th through the 20th. And during that time, we will have a waning crescent moon, which is a time of surrender, rest, and healing. So we're going to fully let go, rest, and just get ourselves ready for the new cycle ahead, which starts on the new moon on the 20th. So, of course, a new moon is a good time for a fresh start, new beginnings, and a time to either start a new skill or project, whether it be inner or outer project, whatever you might want to work on for the next cycle ahead. It's a good time to get started on those things. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Virgo. So as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: expect powerful change. Oops. I keep dropping the card out there today. All right. Expect powerful change. Let's see what the Virgo Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, I would like to say that since my readings are free to you, all that I ask in return is that you hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and it is super, super easy for you to do. All you have to do, you have to be logged into YouTube or Google, be signed into those, and you can hit the subscribe button. There was a time when I didn't understand how all of that worked. But now I do. And look, now I have a YouTube channel. So look how things change and how we all grow and learn things. So, yeah, I remember my kids saying, "Are you subscribed to?" I'm like, "Am I what? What is happening? What is that?" Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, subscribing really does help me. And so I will give you just a moment to do that right now as I'm shuffling. Thank you so much for doing that for me. I really do appreciate it. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and helping me build a community here. I know I see that many of you are coming back to see your readings every week, and I really do appreciate it. It's been kind of a slow roll for me. I've been at this about a year now. And, I'm really looking to find people that are on a spiritual journey and, and want to get kind of a deeper insight into maybe what their week might be like. So, anyway, thank you so much. I do really appreciate you. All right, let's get into this reading. Virgo, for December 14th through the 20th. Expect powerful change. Your overall present energy is the High Priestess. So some of you may have some sort of powerful spiritual awakening coming right now. And, I say when it comes to awakenings that it's not a one-time thing. I know for me, a spiritual awakening has been things that have happened through my life that is like all of a sudden you go through this change and things open up, and all of a sudden you're more spiritually aware about this, that, or the other. So it's not a one-time thing. It's something that kind of happens at different phases of our life for different reasons, and are triggered in different ways. So, but this looks like for you, it might be a little bit more powerful, which does happen too. Some of them are, some of the changes that I've gone through have been kind of small, and then a big, powerful change comes along, and it's like, wow, it just completely changes your life. So, but the High Priestess is about really listening to our intuition. So it could be about really paying attention to synchronicities or having some big revelation with synchronicities, which I've definitely had that awakening happen, which is kind of mind blowing. That takes a while to really get used to. Because you're seeing the universe in a completely different light, and it's every day. You're seeing it differently every single day, and it's almost like a new language opens up to you. It's really amazing. But so there's something big and powerful in the spiritual realm happening for you right now. Your current situation is the Page of Wands. So it could be that you have discovered, and maybe it is this thing, maybe it is learning about spirituality or learning about this awakening process. This could be why you're listening to a tarot reading right now, that there's been something that you have recently discovered and you just love. It's a new discovery, but you're definitely, I mean, look at how he's looking at these little buds grow on this branch. This is about kind of nurturing that thing and really just enjoying. It's like a new passion. It's a new path for you, which I really love. I love that so much. At the root of your situation, this is kind of feeling like you against the world with another wand here. The seven is kind of feeling like, when it comes to a spiritual awakening like this, it could be that let's say friends and family for years have gone along a certain particular spiritual path, and you learning this thing or having something happen to you, some sort of awakening happen to you, you will get a little bit of pushback. That's happened to me as well. I've got experience with all of this, that you get a little pushback in the things that maybe you were following or learning how to practice. There's just some pushback. It can happen, and so you're kind of feeling that. That's kind of at the root of what you're feeling this week, is you're feeling that pushback. I'm going to say you do you. That's really the best advice I can give when it comes to that, is you have to do you. You don't. We're not here to we're not here for anyone else's enlightenment besides our own. So whatever it is that's working for you right now, you just have to kind of move through that path and do that. In your recent past is the Page of Cups. So you've been open to something new on the emotional realm, and maybe this is exactly why. There's been something that has pushed you to be there. Coming into this with kind of a good humor. And it could be, again, that something happens, and I promise you, I've had things happen that are, they're so mind-blowing that, I mean, you almost laugh. It's like, that cannot be real. That thing that just happened to me, that thing that I experienced. And so you may come in, you may be open because of that. It's something just opened you up to, like, oh, okay, that's a thing, so, and you may be laughing about it seriously, because sometimes it is something that seems so ridiculous and unbelievable, but there it is, right? Things like that can happen. And this is powerful change. This is how it happens, but you're going to keep your sense of humor about it, right? What is on your mind this week is the Knight of Cups. So this is kind of moving through it. And not only are you open up here with this Page of Cups. This is kind of a new emotional thing, but you're going to take action on some emotional front. And this could be, again, this could be learning. This could be just somewhere where your heart is open to learn. This change comes through for you, again, with this High Priestess. This could be that you start a new way of doing things. Again, it might be while you're at a tarot reading, and maybe you're going to do some of the things that you do. You can maybe start taking notes. I always say to keep a spiritual journal. Anytime you're having these experiences, it's such a good thing to write down, so that you can come back later, like in a year from now, and say, oh, that's right, I this thing happened to me, and I grew, and I did these things throughout the year, and now look where I am. It's just nice to have kind of a journal of where you've been, and your experiences and your journey. What is just ahead of you this week is feeling a little bit of self satisfaction here with the Nine of Cups, and a little bit of self indulgence. So, again, this might be why you, purchase an item, or you take some time for yourself. There's a lot of ways that we self indulge, but find those things that you need to do for you right now. This is about your journey. This is about you learning how the spiritual world operates. In your advice position is the Queen of Cups. So that means to really have the understanding and come to an understanding of just really emotional stability. This might be part of this new gift that was given to you, part of this change that is coming over you. If you've maybe been a little up and down emotionally in the past, it's like you've got this sense of calm that comes over you. Tarot, emotions are represented by water. And if you look at that you're reading so far, and look at the water in the background, or the water on the clothing, like look at the water in the clothing here of the Queen of Cups. It's about being like just balanced with like the communication and earth energy, with that balanced emotional water. Also, the High Priestess, also, if you look at that water in her costume, a lot of this is very emotional when you're learning these things, and when you have powerful change. There's blue behind him. It's not represented by water, although it's cups. There's a lot of blue there, but even this night, there's water, and very calm water. But this can be a very emotional time of change for you as well. So the advice is to maintain your emotional balance. Like you may be overwhelmed at times, but just maintain that and try to apply it to real life situations, if that makes sense to you. What is beyond your control this week is you're feeling more stable. This is not only financial stability, but just general stability, that you just feel like you're holding on to things. Things are good. There's some stability going on while these other things are happening to you, that you're just kind of, life goes on. What do they say? Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Life still goes on. You still have to do those regular everyday things, even though you might have had some big mind blowing, powerful experience. life still goes on. You still have to get up in the morning and make your bed and cook and clean and do those things. So keep that stability in that part of your life going as you're going through these changes. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Page of Pentacles, which is a new path. Look at all these pages here. We've got Page of Cups, Page of Wands, and now Page of Pentacles. Like everything is new to you now. So it is either your secret desire or trying to avoid a new path in the material and maybe financial realm. And this could be, so I'm going to give you both examples. Maybe it's your secret desire. You've had this experience and you thought, I can't do this work that I do anymore because of this. It may go against things that you've learned. And so you've decided I'm going to change jobs, um, or you're trying to avoid that. You're thinking, I've had these change. I still need to hang on to this stability. I would love to not do this job but there, you know what I mean? So there's this, either your secret desire to do that, or you're trying to avoid doing that when it comes to something in the financial realm, whether it has something to do with your job or where you live. But just take a breath. Again, let's maintain that stability. Let's not do big changes right now. Things will come in time, and you might be having ideas. Again, that's a reason it's really good to journal about those. In your outcome position, Virgo, is the Hanged Man, which is perfect. This is you having a new perspective, looking at life in a whole different way. This is just new awareness. This is new, looking at things from a way that you've never seen them before. For in this guy's example, it's upside down. You may not be that quite upside down. Maybe you are. But you're definitely looking at things from a new perspective, and it just changes everything. It changes every part of your life. I know this from experience. And again, awakenings aren't a one-time thing. It's levels. It's like and it's like a flower that unfolds. One part unfolds and you change your life, and those petals kind of fall away and the new thing unfolds. It just keeps happening, right? What is hidden from you this week, Virgo, is the Two of Pentacles, which is kind of about juggling to keep everything going and in the air. And maybe that's why you do maybe need to focus a little bit on that stability so that things aren't getting out of whack. There's a lot of new things, a lot of new information coming into you right now with all of these pages. Like everything's new. Everything is just brand new to you in this new perspective. And it's like a veil lifts, but you can't, your life, again, you have to maintain your stability and your emotional stability through this. You may want to make changes, but we're going to start very, very small, little baby steps to make the changes that you want to in your life. So, we are at the 20th, which is a new moon cycle. There may just be one thing that you decide, okay, since this awakening, I'm going to change this one thing. Go ahead and work on that one thing, because believe me, you have months and years to come to change other things and change, and get to really understanding this new awareness and making changes about it. So I hope that makes sense to you. If you have any comments about that, of course, drop me a message down below. Or if you have questions about that too, I'd be happy to answer this for you if I can, or at least point you in the right direction. Let's see if we have any. I don't see anything numerologically for you to look at this week in this particular reading. Let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Virgo this week as they go through this powerful change. Raise your vibration. Perfect. I mean, that's something we should all be doing all the time. It might be that might be and especially just might need to be something that you're hearing right now from me, right? Raise your vibration. That's what you need to be focused on. And if that is through meditation, prayer, however you see that, and make sure that you're doing that every day. It's so important to do that every day, especially through these powerful changes like this. You're seeing the world in a whole different way. Just really get yourself centered and balanced. And if you can do that through meditation or prayer, perfect. All right, self-care for Virgo this week. And anytime I get a little frog in my throat like that when I'm doing a reading, there might be something that you need to speak up on. There was nothing in the cards that says that, but anytime that happens to me, I feel like it's just, I need to say to you, there's something you may need to speak up on this week. All right, the card that you get for self-care, authenticity. Live life for you, not the audience in your head. So if this awakening that you've had, and it's just going to get you to the more authentic version of yourself, which is really all we're all trying to do, is really, who are we? You know, we're asking that question, who are we, and how do we get to that most authentic version of ourselves? So, Virgo, I really appreciate you being here with me. I wish you the best of luck this week on all of this. It looks like it's a pretty heavy week for you, and that's awesome. And not in a negative way. I feel like it's powerful, but it's a change, and it is a positive change for you, which I do love that for you. So thanks so much for being here. Of course, if you're comfortable sharing, you can drop me a comment down below. And if you do like my reading style, please hit that like and subscribe button. Not only does it help my channel, which I really appreciate, it'll help you find me next week and come back and we can see where this story goes. So thanks so much, Virgo. See you next time. Bye bye.